Nature creates creatures that seem so extraordinary they almost appear unreal. But why does it develop animals with shapes, colors, or abilities that seem to break all the rules? Is it pure beauty, or is there a struggle for survival behind it that we barely perceive? And why are these particular creatures often the most delicate? In this video, we'll take a look at animals that not only stand out, but also tell a story of adaptation, risk, and evolutionary sophistication. Each of them demonstrates a different strategy to survive in a ruthless world. And we'll start with an animal that fascinates at first glance, and at second, changes everything we think we know about survival. Top 1. The Silent Hunter. This animal moves through its world with a calmness that seems almost eerie. No unnecessary sound, no hurried movement. Everything about it is designed for efficiency. Its body is perfectly adapted to approach unnoticed, observe, and strike at the decisive moment. Why has evolution produced such a precise hunter? Because here, every mistake can be fatal. Prey often doesn't notice the danger until it's too late. This animal's senses are exceptionally sharp. Sight, hearing, and instinct work together as a single system. At the same time, it lives in a constant balance between hunger and risk. An attack costs energy, and a failure can mean the end. That's why it waits patiently, sometimes for hours, for the perfect moment. Top 1 impressively shows that true strength lies not in brute force, but in control, precision, and the ability to be invisible at the right moment. Top 2. The Master of Camouflage. This animal thrives on not being recognized. Its appearance merges with its surroundings as if it were a part of them. Colors, patterns, and contours dissolve as soon as you try to focus on it. Why is this camouflage so perfect? Because visibility here means danger. Every shadow, every body structure is designed to deceive the eye. Predators only see what they expect and overlook what's right in front of them. At the same time, this animal actively uses its invisibility. It waits motionless, adapting to light and movement, and decides for itself when it exists and when it doesn't. But this strategy comes at a price. Even the smallest environmental changes can ruin the camouflage. Then there's hardly any time to react. Top 2 impressively shows that survival sometimes doesn't depend on being stronger or faster, but on not being perceived at all. In a world full of dangers, invisibility is the most powerful weapon here. Top 3. The Master of Transformation. Nothing is fixed with this animal. Colors, patterns, and even its effect on the observer can change in seconds. At first glance, it seems inconspicuous, almost ordinary. But why does it possess this ability to transform? Because adaptation here decides between life and death. This animal reacts immediately to its surroundings. Light, movement, and threat trigger changes that confuse enemies and deceive prey. One moment it's barely recognizable. The next, it sends clear signals. This ability to change serves not only as camouflage but also as communication. Conspecifics recognize mood, warning, or dominance simply by its external appearance. But this flexibility demands the highest control. Every change costs energy and requires a precise interplay of the nervous system and body. Top 3 impressively shows that survival is not always rigid or predictable. Sometimes the strongest doesn't win, but the one who can reinvent themselves the fastest. Top 4. The Warning Signal. This animal doesn't try to hide. On the contrary, its colors and patterns are striking, high contrast, and almost impossible to ignore. But why would a creature voluntarily attract attention? Because visibility here means protection. This appearance is a clear message to any potential attacker. Come closer and you risk pain or death. Predators who ignore these signals once quickly learn from bitter experience. The animal itself then has less need to flee or fight. Often, a single glance is enough to create distance, but this strategy is not without risk. Inexperienced enemies or changed environmental conditions can render the warning ineffective. Then the conspicuous appearance becomes a danger. Top 4 impressively shows that color in nature is more than beauty. It is language, memory, and a survival strategy all at once. Those who understand it stay alive. Those who disregard it disappear. Top 5. The perfect deception. With Top 5, nothing is as it seems. This animal uses illusion as a survival strategy. Shapes, patterns, or movements feign a reality that doesn't truly exist. But why is deception more effective than strength here? Because it creates time. Time to flee, to attack, or to disappear. Some features appear like eyes. Others like dangerous body parts that seem larger or more threatening than they actually are. Enemies hesitate, are uncertain, and miss the crucial moment. At the same time, this deception can also be used offensively. Prey feels safe until the illusion breaks down. But this strategy is risky. Once the trick is recognized, there's little room for error. Every wrong angle, every ill-suited movement can mean the end. Top 5 impressively shows that survival in nature often relies on perception. Whoever controls what others see also controls the situation. In this world, it's not always strength that decides, but the most convincing appearance. Top 6. The art of disappearing. This animal doesn't rely on striking colors or aggressive deception. Its strength lies in absolute restraint. Movement is minimized, contours are dissolved, presence almost completely erased. Why is this strategy so effective? Because many attackers react to contrasts and rapid stimuli. If both are absent, the animal is overlooked. It carefully chooses its position, utilizing shadows, structure, and stillness. Even the smallest movements are controlled, every decision deliberate. But this invisibility is fragile. A wrong moment, a changed light angle, and the protection is lost. Then there's hardly any time to react. Top 6 impressively shows that survival sometimes doesn't depend on fighting or deceiving, but on completely disappearing at the right moment. In a world full of dangers, silence can become the most powerful form of defense. Top 7. The silent adaptation. This animal appears inconspicuous, almost easy to overlook, but precisely therein lies its strength. It has no bright colors, no spectacular shapes, and no obvious weapons. Why has evolution produced such a reserved survival artist? Because consistency is more important than attention here. This animal has learned to adapt over long periods without drawing attention. Its physique, behavior, and rhythm are perfectly attuned to its environment. It wastes no energy. It provokes no danger. Instead, it waits, observes, and only reacts when necessary. This strategy requires patience and a keen sense for changes, but it makes the animal resilient to many threats. Top 7 impressively shows that survival doesn't always have to be dramatic. Sometimes the greatest strength lies in quietly blending in and still enduring, while others fail due to their conspicuousness. These 7 animals demonstrate how diverse survival can be. Whether through strength, deception, or adaptation, each strategy is a result of precise evolution. If you enjoyed this journey through the fascinating mechanisms of nature, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and join us for more discoveries of the wild world.